All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for your game 3. 9 lives up 2-0 over on option 12. Jeff, any thoughts before we head into Champ Select?
I think the most important thing going on right now is at option 12. They need to understand that they had some small victories in that game too. They put themselves in a position to be competitive, to potentially even be in a leading position come the mid game, and it was just one decision that essentially sent everything the wrong way. So they need to keep their mental in a good spot going into game 3. Focus on the positives.
All right, and Lucky, any follow-up thoughts on that?
Really hope we have a strong game here just to get us to game 4. Always a fan of more LCUS.
Yes, and it's worth noting, talking about that option 12 history, option 12 was the one that ran the reverse sweep back in split 2, I believe it was. So we are telling the players that we are all set, and we'll be heading into the analyst desk shortly, assuming everyone is in their proper positions. Yeah, we got 9 lives saying they're ready several times here. I believe option 12 has their hand on the button, though, so we are waiting on Gregosaurus Rex to send us off. There's the option 12 ready signal. We will be heading over to the analyst desk the second we see that Champ Select, but they're just killing us a little bit here. Making us wait.
One last pep talk.
One last pep talk. One last suggestion of who they're going to ban. Are they going to let Volibear through? Is 9 lives going to pity them and let Prowler get Yi? Probably not.
That would be a heck of a flex.
Make it a show, right?
looks like we're still waiting on option 12 with the button.
Gregosaurus did not realize he was in charge. All right, analyst desk, take it away.
So much, Kiddos. Excellent insight from our casters, and we appreciate that. I think we're going to hear some echoing sentiment, but don't worry, it's an echo chamber in here, folks. We want to hear our own voices. Let's hop into this. We are going to see 9 lives getting first ban coming out this game. We heard some insight about what we should be looking for out of option 12. Now let's take a few seconds. Soda, are we running it back as 9 lives? We're seeing similar bans come across. Is this just putting it on repeat again?
Honestly, with how 9 lives has been playing, if I were on their team right now, I would be comfortable with just running it back. Just because you're already up 2-0 in a series, don't fix what's not broken. On the side of option 12, I kind of feel like the Ezreal ban here is well-deserved, and aside from that, if we get a repeat from last game's comp, option 12 should be in a much better position now that they don't have to worry about that ever so elusive Ezreal.
It's a lot. We do see it banned. Same bans coming out of 9 lives. Definitely worried about the Ornn. Gangplank banned as well. They want to see Relexus on carries, as they did have more game control at the last game. But if it ain't broke, why fix it? Set pick coming across from 9 lives. Infinite. Is this still going to be jungle set?
Yes it is, yeah. The Slack Source has no reason to change anything up. In fact, his performance was already good in Game 1. It got stronger and more impactful in Game 2. You give it to him Game 3. He kind of had the same strategy when he was getting Volibear. If they didn't ban Volibear any of their games, he just kept playing it and it kept getting stronger. So it's most definitely a jungle pick, in my opinion.
Ooh. And very likely jungle pick coming out of option 12, Urgot. Very interesting. Folks, if you head over to the op.gg, you will see Urgot jungle is one of the stronger performers for Prowler right now, and we did see it during the split as well. Swain coming out again. It very well could be a flex mid, though. We'll see exactly how this song and dance plays out. We do see the Jhin after being left open. It is picked again. Sorry, folks, a little audio issue on my part. We did see the Jhin come out since it wasn't picked away, so they must have a lot of faith in that coming out. Nautilus getting picked again for the first time this split, but again, for for the first time this finals, but so many times this split, as Icy has showed how incredibly scary he is on that Nautilus, with Valkai being picked potentially for top, maybe even jungle. We'll see how that plays out. Lots of flex picks coming out from option 12. What's your thoughts, Kinos? Sorry, looking at the name. Nickel, what's your thoughts?
Thoughts so far on the Nautilus pick?
Yeah.
Apologies, I stepped away for a second.
You're good.
No, the Nautilus pick, that's just comfort Icy flip here. Again, we got something similar to the Thresh with some hooks coming through. Maybe not as game-changing as the Thresh, but still, bread and butter, Jhin, Nautilus, what can go wrong with it?
Agree. Incredibly engaged and pretty good disengage as well. We do see chat calling for the Rise. Do you think we'll see that, Soda? Is it time for top lane Rise?
I don't know. Maybe Pointy's going to pull it out. I think Relexus could pull out the Rise here. I like the Kog'Maw, especially with what they've got going on so far. Very beefy lineup. I'm torn on the Urgot because last week it did so well for them, but at the same time, it just feels like such a weird pick. But I guess my predisposition does not outweigh results.
Oh, we'll see. We see a whole lot of tops being floated. Vladimir being picked. Very different strategy coming out of 9 Lives this time. I'm excited to see. Infinite, tell me about this Vladimir pick. What do you think's happening there?
I think 9 Lives is not taking what we said. I think they're just like, at this point, let's try some of the things that we didn't really do a whole lot with, or even try at all throughout the split. And they want to flex. Honestly, that's what I'm feeling right now. They have the safety of Jhin and Nautilus in the bot lane. They think can probably carry along with the set impact. So, I think he's styling.
Speaking of styling, we are seeing the Orianna come out. So very different mid, but huge team fight potential coming out of this 9 Lives squad. Very different than what we had seen last time. Maokai, Urgot, Brand, Kog'Maw, and Swain out of option 12. Looks like that is mid-Brand. Holla at your boy, you prophet right here, calling that one. So tell me, let's start with you, Infinite. It's game 3. You've got everything on the line. You're in the hot seat right now, and you are this mid laner. You are Gregosaurus Rex on the Brand. What are you doing differently over these past 2 games to try and have an impact?
Well, in games 1 and 2, he picked someone that they're very strong, they're very good into those team fights, and they can make plays happen. Game 3, he's picking. This is the surprise pick I didn't want to give away. I'm glad he picked it, or else I would have flamed him, no pun intended. But Brand still has that ability to make good impact with those team fights, but he is so strong. I know someone's probably going to disagree amongst our casting group, but this is such a great pick from him, and I'm glad he actually did it.
With the big buffs he got, I think it's a no-brainer. I'm very surprised we didn't see... well, never mind, it was banned. I'm not surprised at all. It is a very statistically guaranteed thing. If something's banned, you're not going to see it in the game. So, Arcane Soda, Vladimir top into a Maokai. We've seen now 3 unique champions out of both players. How does this matchup play differently than the rest of them? Is this better for Eternal now?
I think this matchup kind of goes the same way that the previous ones have been going. Relexus is on a champion that can just bully harder the tanks that Eternal's been playing. Maokai has some healing in his kit, better than the shield prop he provides to kind of keep him a little bit healthier in lane. So I feel like this is kind of going to be a little bit of what we saw, more so game 2. He's not just going to get outright bullied to death repeatedly in the laning phase.
I do think that'll be different. And it's also huge engage potential that's matched by the Malphite, but maybe a little bit safer as you've got a little bit more range. So now I want to look at this bot lane matchup. Nickel, you hop and talk with me. We've got hyper carry Kog'Maw with the Swain. So the whole point of this lane is to get as late as possible, protect the Kog'Maw. Swain, I don't know if I deal for that. Into this General Wally on Jhin, who performed exceptionally well game 1, into probably Icy Flip's most notorious champion, Nautilus. What are your thoughts?
I think the Kog'Maw was kind of a last-ditch effort here because we see Ashe and Caitlyn get banned, and Pointy Ball's done some pretty good things with both those champions. But I also think we need to check our analyst desk security because didn't we say this like game 1 or game 2? We were talking in our private selections here. At least I think they're private. Gotta double check right here. But anyways, I'm liking this pick. As long as you protect the Kog'Maw, I think we're going to be seeing some good things. The Swain with it is a little bit questionable, but we'll have to see about that. 9 lives, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now we just add Nautilus to the party here, and let's just see what we can make happen.
I'd like to add a special little note here. I think this comp that option 12 is running right now would have absolutely steamrolled 9 lives comp last game.
I agree. It would have eaten those tanks alive. So I'm excited to see how this plays out. We're going to pass it back over to our casters. Please enjoy Game 3.
Please enjoy Game 3 indeed. We are here with the skins, and then I'm deciding whether or not I'm going to fulfill my promise of getting real mad about seeing a brand pick. But
We still got no skin on set.
and lots of joke skins on the bottom side here, so 9 lives for me.
I'm gonna go option 12 just because there's no skin on the set still. Come on, you're up 2-0. Go buy a skin.
Go buy a skin. We had 5 minutes in between these games. Go buy a skin, man. Come on.
Chat, can somebody gift Slackosaurus Rex a set skin, please?
Like right
Well,
now, and then we'll cancel the
In
game.
game, we will remake the game.
All right, everyone, it's story time. There was once a guy named Kenos, and he wanted to play League of Legends because Dota was hard to get into because it was still stuck in the Warcraft client, and who wants to boot up the Warcraft client just to only play Dota? And he was looking at the champions, and he was like, well, you know, these aren't one-to-ones, this isn't Heroes of New Earth or anything like that, so who do I like the look of? And then there was this character, Brand, let's just zoom in on him, that had an ult similar to a character called Lich in Dota. And I was like, hey, that sounds kind of cool. I like his stacking of abilities and things, so maybe we'll give him a try. And what happened? The first day I signed into League, Brand was free. And boy, you get that first free champion, especially one who was so expensive, because this was soon after Brand had come out, I believe, so he was still 6,300. And so I skimped and I saved, and I picked up Brand and also Nasus and some other people, and had a good time. Then I stopped for a while, and came back, and suddenly there were all these new mid laners. Ahri, Ziggs, people who were mobile and could throw their abilities through minions or over minions. And suddenly Brand wasn't good anymore. And he hasn't been good. Since, as far as I know, oh, he could play support. That's not the point. You guys don't understand, that's not the point. The point is, there was a dynamite mid laner who I loved, who basically got power crept into non-existence. But I hear he got buffed now, so maybe this will work out. Jeff, you want to talk?
Yeah, I mean, right on subject. This, I believe Sigtao Infinite referred to it on the analyst desk. I knew this was something that Gregosaurus wanted to pull out. He was excited as soon as the patch dropped earlier this week. I was in a game with him actually where we saw a jungle Brand just go off, and it was strange. We didn't understand what was happening, but immediately he said, you know, all right, I might pull that out for finals. We're seeing it now, down 2-0. Why not? This, for those of you who might not be familiar, Brand, his E range is just enormous now, sets everything on fire, and so it'll be interesting to see how Gregosaurus is able to control this newfound power of this champion.
And you know, I was looking into the buff while the analysts were talking, and it's a good choice. His E was the worst part of his kit by far, really only existing in the combo to actually start the character on fire. So extra little bit of damage, and you know, and maybe it'll work out. We'll have to see what happens. We do have a Set lurking, but was spotted there.
You also have a situation now where Brand can bounce his ultimate off of himself, which gives him a lot more 1v1 potential, so therefore some more lane presence, which he may have previously lacked a little bit, compared to, say, Ziggs and Ahri, those terrible champions that showed up while you were gone.
Hey, I'm just, you know, let everyone in on a little secret here. I dislike Ziggs so much because of that whenever I'm testing out a champion, I always put him against Ziggs. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the lane mode is. Doesn't matter anything like that. I just kill the Ziggs 11 times. It feels great.
Up in the top lane, we've got Rolexus on this Vladimir. I believe I heard the analyst desk talking about how it looked like 9 Lives. They were doing a few different things this game. You know, sort of, I think, mincing words for messing around a little bit. Maybe being a little bit cocky here. And it could come back to bite them. You know, I don't see anything inherently wrong with this comp, but I always feel like when you're on championship point, you can't mess around with any of them, even if you have 3 of them.
Well,
you mess around with 1, it could come back to get you.
I saw Lindsay in the chat being very celebratory that the Vlad was finally coming to party. Lucky, what do you think about this top lane matchup?
I think we might just see a kill here, actually, which would be hilarious. But I think it's very interesting. It matches Rolexus' style, and I would expect him to succeed on it. It's very similar to the Rise and the Gangplank and the way it plays. Excited to see it.
Be careful here. Slack, he's going very far. I don't know what you expected to have accomplished there, and now Prower could potentially flash in looking for a counter gank here. Sig Tower Eternal doesn't have very much mana, and he will have to flash away. I just don't understand. What was the point of going in for that, Slack? He had to know he didn't have the damage to kill him.
It's possible that he thought that Sig was going to stick around, or Eternal was going to stick around. We have had situations like that in the past where the top laner might get a little confident. But, you know, doesn't work out. Like you said, damage not there just yet.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting you, Lucky. Feel free. Go ahead.
I think action takes precedence, so I don't think there's any apologies needed here.
Yeah, Wally actually taking a little bit low here as well. A good Swain pull could really get something done here for this bot lane. But he is going back to heal up now with 1,400 gold-ish in his pocket when he gets there.
It's that E range. I'm not sure if we caught it on stream, but it was Gregosaurus put his E onto a minion that was about, I don't know, quite a ways away from Trufflesaurus, and it still spread to him. And that's the difference that you have to account for with Brand that is just very strange. It's not something that's going to be familiar, especially to players who have played this game for a long time.
Yeah, it also means that his clear is going to be much better as well, for less mana. Because he can get all...
if we review the play patterns for both these players, they both played Brand extensively within the past week. So I think there's a pretty good understanding of the champ on both sides.
Because, I mean, Brand always did have those issues where all the stacks you'd have to do to get a good clear going, but now if he can just stack 2 spells instead of all 3, it'll help him out quite a lot.
So off that top lane gank, or whatever it was, I hesitate to even call it a gank.
Aggression.
The only consequence we really saw that will be lasting is that Slack had to burn his flash, no one else burned anything. So we'll have another 3 minutes or so where Prower has the advantage when it comes to junglers having flashes.
Yeah,
Jungler flash generally not that consequential though.
Yeah, I haven't
until
seen
it
too
is,
much of
course.
Urgot yet either. So maybe wait until 6, waiting for an opening. I've always found Brand Orianna to be a relatively even matchup, depending on how good the ball movement is.
Yeah, Lucky, I've always found that I feel like Orianna is basically just like the safe matchup, like in general. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, she basically checks all the boxes in terms of utility, and it's a very cautious pick, which fits what you're looking for Truffle to do. I mean, you want to support Wally and Rolexus.
Oh my goodness, there's the Brand damage, and Elizabeth actually picks up both kills, but that was just some over-aggression there from Icy Flip, and General Wally will get pulled into the meat grinder. So option 12 off to a really quick start here as they, 9 Lives, they got that Drake. I don't know if they could have gotten out with less casualties, but it was possible. Icy Flip got a little hypey looking for that hook and just dragged himself to his death.
Yeah.
And if this weren't the game point championship, I might be a little mad about a KS by a certain jungler.
Yeah,
It's
I think
also
that
a
was
little not so optimal that Queen Wizbear picked up those 2 kills as well in the river. Swain, obviously a champion that will be okay, will still do damage as the game goes on. As they catch on to Relexus, a 3-person gank up here in the top lane. He will flash away. The ultimate is already out, and the pool, he will get locked up and gonna go down under the turret. Prowler finishes off. No, Gregosaurus with the burn gets it. So option 12, a quartet of kills early in game 3.
I think that Swain getting it is not the worst thing in the world. There was mention the last time she played Swain in this set of games that the damage and health was not there because she had not gotten kills early. So getting a beefier Swain against this team is not the worst thing to happen, I think. But, you know, obviously you'd prefer Pointy Ball to get it, but I don't think there's a bad person on this team to get it except for maybe Eternal. I don't know how many kills you need your Maokai to get.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but at least suboptimal, I would say.
Oh, sure. There's always an ideal scenario.
So right now, I mean, just Analyst Death touched on it a little bit, and, you know, to me, with that hook by Icy Flip there, I'm wondering if 9 Lives, if they're getting a little cocky here in Game 3.
Well, you know, when you're up 2-0, you can do some silly things.
You say that until you get reverse swept,
right?
And then you think about those Game 3 plays that you shouldn't have made.
Hey, I'm all in favor of silly things happening if it leads us to a Game 5, you know. And pulling in on the Brand is also somewhat questionable, because Brand is so good at dealing that close-up AoE damage. You know, you pull Brand into you and he just ults and then stuns you and then W's you and then all your health's gone. So maybe not the primary target there. But, you know, I'm very interested to see what Relexus's secret hidden Vlad is going to bring to the table as this game goes on, if anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it'll be necessarily too surprising. It's essentially just that Vladimir becomes an absolute terror as the game transitions into its later stages. But Lucky, you're a top laner. Do you have any particular thoughts on when we might see this Vlad pick take off, or if we might not in general?
I mean, given he's going to have a strong gold lead, I feel we'll see it take off in the upcoming team fights. Definitely interesting to see him go for an early needlessly large rod. Typically, you want to go for immediate 20% CDR on Vlad, just to maximize his abilities. But definitely think we'll see it in team fights when he's able to lay down that damage amplification ult.
That was a great bait by Pointy Ball. Just waited for Icy Flip to throw out that hook, and just Prowler was right there waiting with the Rift Herald as well. Option 12. Maybe it's option 3 right now. Took 2 to get on board, but now they could very well take this entire first turret, actually, as help is very far away.
Yeah, that was a great bait by Pointy Ball. You know, you can make jokes about whether or not ADCs contribute to things of that nature, but good job. Body is their shield and all that, just to make sure they sell that. And good follow-up by Prowler as well.
They didn't get the full turret. Got 4 of the plates off of it. Mountain Drake, we saw Slackosaurus pinging it in chat. Should be up in about 30 seconds now. And General Wally just reset. So option 12 should have priority. Prowler walking up into the jungle of Slackosaurus Rex, trying to bully him out.
Oh, Sigtao almost gets him under turret with his ult. That'd have been hilarious.
Alexis, he did use the Hemoplague there, so he won't have it for a team fight, although neither top laner has teleport available right now. So if a dragon fight were to pop off, it would probably be a 4v4, which, at least in terms of the gold right now, absolutely would favor option 12. You wonder if 9 Lives, if they just let this one go, given that they're at a disadvantage. Sigtao Eternal, he dashes in, but that's a great pool by Rolexis, and he will get the solo kill under the turret.
Yeah, strange decision making there by Eternal. Looks as though a free dragon for 12 here.
9 Lives, I agree with the decision to let that one go. You got a kill and a plate onto your Vladimir up in the top lane. Just let that guy continue to scale up. It was key that you got that first Drake, I think, so that you didn't have to contest for that second one, and maybe not even the third.
I think that's one of the things that we should keep in mind about Eternal if we go into a 4th and 5th game, is that he seems to stick around a lot longer than you should. We've seen him several times taken very low and just sticking around to eke that last little bit of gold of experience out, and Relexus takes advantage of it.
And to build on that point, we're actually seeing him take a lot of trades when he could just maintain his health by throwing out his knockback. You only need one ability onto the enemy to get that health off.
That's a good point. The bot lane, Prowler was working around looking for another gank. This time, 9 Lives did not chomp onto the bait. We're able to walk away just fine.
Yeah, I like the awareness from 9 Lives there. You know, fool me once and all that. Very well done.
In the mid lane, Gregosaurus has carved out a pretty sizable advantage for himself. Probably largely due to the fact that he got those 2 assists on the initial fight by the dragon and then the 1 kill by roaming up top. But he's also got a decent little CS advantage. And Brand, just when he's got an advantage, there's so much damage. Slakosaurus could be in trouble here, and I like the quick flash there, because if you try to stick around, you probably get collapsed on.
Yeah, Slack's been playing it very safe this game. He has flashed out of several possibly very dangerous situations just immediately, not taking any chances.
And 9 Lives. They were down, I think it was about 2,000 just a few minutes ago, but they pegged it back to only 600, gave up that 1 Drake, but that's fine. So maybe stabilizing a little bit after a little bit of early game getting overhyped, or maybe a little overconfident, or maybe just, you know, not to discount option 12, maybe just outplaying them early in the game.
Relexus might be looking for a gank here. I believe... No, I don't think Greg saw it. I think they're just planning to do something else here.
Yeah, could be a big play coming down toward the bot side. The bot lane of option 12 is not there right now, but you've got the jungle mid duo coming down. They do get spotted, but it looks like, yeah, it was just a little bit disjointed because Ponyball and Queen Lizbear weren't in lane, so there wasn't really pressure from both sides coming there.
Yeah, and you get the teleport out of the mid laner, which is pretty big, especially since there is no teleport for option 12's mid lane.
That's a good point. Yeah, Trufflesaurus did burn that cooldown. Prowler gets snared up down in the bot lane, and Relexus and Sigtao Eternal, they will just continue to brawl up here. Sigtao Eternal building that MR early, obviously the correct choice. But Relexus, I don't think that Maokai has enough to really cut through the Vladimir sustain.
Yeah, he did early, but not anymore, it doesn't look like.
Yeah, if the gold was more even with items, you potentially could, but not with the disparity.
Yeah, 2,000 gold disparity here. Not the worst that we've seen between these top laners today, but Eternal is still losing essentially every trade, and even if he's winning, Relexus just heals up so quickly.
If I'm wrong here, Lucky, but a key element of laning with and against Vladimir is staying away from his empowered Qs. And I think I just saw Sigtao Eternal get hit by about 2 or 3 in a row.
Yeah, anything that's empowered you want to stay away from, and you really want to just get minion block most his blood spread ability.
Alright, Eternal, if you survive this ult, get out of there.
First turret goes to option 12 down in the bot lane, so we've seen them focus down there in the bot side. Sigtao Eternal, maybe he was heeding your advice earlier, Kenos, because he does back off this time, but will lose the turret. First one went over to option 12, so they will get that little bit of extra gold for it. And it looks like Gregosaurus and Prowler setting up for another play down in the bot side. Little rinse and repeat.
Yeah, we got Dragon coming up in 30 seconds. So we'll see how well option 12 does here. They have not had a great luck with dragons today, other than that great steal in game 2. Ooh, stun misses on Icy Flip, but the damage doesn't.
Yeah, Icy Flip, that was good game instinct there, to imagine that Brand would be in that bush. Drake coming up, and you wonder if 9 Lives, if they'll be willing to let this one go as well. Relexus does have teleport available. Sigtao Eternal could match.
Yeah, I'd like to see Eternal.
And they go. Prowler jumps right in onto Relexus, who is down in the bot lane. He has to pool before he's thrown. He doesn't have the ultimate available, actually. He's just going to get cut down. No, he will just barely get away. But Slakosaurus Rex dies for his top laner's sins. Now Icy Flip running for the hills. Pointy Ball flashes forward, looking for the damage. General Wally just barely gets away, but the Vision of the Empires finishes things off. It's a 3-kill fight for option 12, and they'll get the Drake anyway.
That was a great teleport by Eternal. It was perfectly placed the way the lane set it all up. Would have liked the ult 1 second earlier there, but, you know, still great job. Got the dragon, got everything.
I love how quick option 12 was to engage things there, because Relexus not having that ultimate, it just really hinders the overall power of this Vladimir in teamfights.
Alright, so we got a 2k gold lead now. Checking out individual gold positions here. Mid lane up by 700. Top lane, there's a 2400 gold differential now. Bot lane's where the real story is right now. Pointy Ball with an amazingly high gold lead up against Wally. And Wally did actually die. So.
Oh, that is the first one of the series. Is that correct?
Yep. So,
if it bleeds, it can be killed. Option 12 on the comeback path, perhaps, here in Game 3.
Yeah, they just need to keep their decision-making in a good spot. They need to sit there and they need to go, okay, we need to make sure that we are focused, we're not making any mistakes, we're taking good engages. Once again, we have Relexus and Pointy Ball fighting it out in the bot lane. That's kind of funny.
Wait, so Kenos, you're telling me you would not advise a 20-minute Baron?
Well, I don't know about that. You know, they aren't in a position where a Baron would be necessarily terrible, though, you know, I don't know if they would work with the engage. I'm wondering when Slackosaurus is going to pop this Herald. He's been sitting on it for a while.
Yeah, they haven't really had a good opportunity. Maybe if you take it down bottom, you've got the power of Relexus down there. One thing that could get scary for option 12 here, in my opinion, is they're very, very magic damage focused.
Oh, yeah. See what sort of defensive items get out there. It looks as though Slack is taking your advice and is heading down to this bot lane. I'm just wondering, I don't see any way to actually see what the timer is on this, but I'm wondering if the Herald's going to time out at some point here.
Yeah,
Nope.
It must have been, because this seems like not that optimal of a choice, but they will at least get some damage on the turret. Or will they? Okay, they do. A little bit of damage, but they won't actually get a turret. And now Slack might be in trouble. He stuck around for a really long time there. He got over the wall about 10 seconds ago, but stuck around and got put in the grinder for it.
I love these downtown Urgot chains. Like he's coming from a whole screen away and just chainsawing people. It's amazing.
I do have to question, though, whether it was worth a brand flash to get that singular kill without the option to go for Dragon or Baron.
Oh, sure.
That brand flash is critical with how mobile he is.
Yeah, we'll see if it comes up.
Yeah, Gregosaurus basically burned everything on that kill, which, I mean, obviously you can get a kill, that's good, but I feel like they would have gotten that one anyways.
Lucky, maybe you can talk to me a little bit if you have any thoughts on this double Landry's. Is that a mistake? Because I'm pretty sure that doesn't stack.
I honestly could not tell you.
So, I mean, obviously it depends on who Swain and Brand are both targeting. And it's an item they both get individually, right? But it just seems kind of clashing in a team situation here.
Well, and I think it doesn't hinder their own use of the item. It doesn't stack together, no, but both utilize that item's passive to a great degree, and I don't think it hinders their use of it. So
Sure.
I don't think it's bad itemization by any means. Probably a good balanced decision by Riot to not allow them to stack, though.
Oh, for sure. And I mean,
Riot got something with balance right. They should get an award.
The percent damage is definitely going to play a big deal here against someone like this Vlad. That kind of was one of the reasons I sort of liked the Brand pick, was it's like, okay, so you're going to have some big tanky dude will just percent damage health you to death. But
And right now we've got Drake coming up in about 30 seconds. Option 12, they've extended their gold lead about 1,500, maybe even closer to 2,000 since we saw the last one go down. and a one-sided fight in their favor. Lucky, if you're 9 lives, do you give this one up? Actually, Slack might die for it anyways. They look in for him. He will actually dunk back. I think he knew he was dead anyways, but will die regardless. So now you pretty much have no choice.
I mean, they could channel their inner option 12 of the Baron in the last game, but yeah, I don't think we'd advise it.
That was a strange ult also. I might have ulted the other direction to maybe try to survive. But I'm not playing set, what do I know?
Yeah, well, you can only, I believe you can only set ult the opposite direction from where you're grabbing the champion from. So, yeah, so I think, you know, he probably shouldn't have been in that position to begin with, but was probably dead to rights regardless of what he did.
We only have.
do hope-
I was just going to comment on the cooldown reduction that we had mentioned earlier. Limited cooldown reduction still on this Vlad.
Yeah, I absolutely agree on that. And speaking of Vlad, I think we need to see a Executioner's Calling coming out of this Kog'Maw, because that Vlad, while he may not have many kills, he's still very farm-fed, been out on that side pasture for quite a while farming.
Yeah, we do have an Executioner's Calling in Pointy Ball's inventory. I'm curious about the itemization of Relexus. He's gone with the Spellbinder and the Death Cap. No Hourglass yet, no Spirit Visage, which I think would be incredibly useful against this heavily magic damaged team. What do you think of this build, Lucky?
I think he's going for the power play. He wants the Penta when he might be looking more so for the win. But as we talked about, it's game 3 and they have a 2-0 lead, so they're playing a little loose perhaps.
Yeah, something I've noticed a lot is I'm not a huge fan of the vision control that we typically are seeing out of option 12 here. I mean, obviously Icy Flip every game has been doing amazing with his ward placement. But, you know, I'd like to see a few more deeper wards coming out of this red team for option 12. Have a better idea about what's going on the map.
So it's 1 to 10 in kills, it's 3 to 1 in Drakes, but it's still only a 2,000 gold lead. So we're not looking at a situation where, as Relexus, he looks like he wants everything on Pointy Ball, and there's the power of the Vladimir. Interactive gameplay for an AD carry player. Relexus could be in trouble. He might have to teleport out of here. He's looking to recall. That might not be enough.
I think it will.
Oh, option 12. They just predicted the wrong bush, and he does get away.
Yep, there's the advantage of going for that early death cap and the movement speed item there. So definitely can understand why. Harkening back to your vision comment, Kenos, I do think it's interesting that we're still not seeing a blue trinket on either the mid or top from 9 lives, given that those can be placed so deep and last for eternity if you don't check the bush.
Yeah, Pointy Ball is now on notice that that's what the Vlad does.
Yeah,
and
it's terrifying.
And that movement speed is also going to be an issue for the Brand because he does not have the heads-up stun. He has to actually land that. So that's going to be a skill check on Gregosaurus if he's able to take out this Vlad with a quick disable. Maybe Eternal's...
Excuse me, go ahead.
I was just going to say, maybe Eternal's going to have to basically be the one who has to lock down Relexus once that movement speed comes out, if possible.
Now you see option 12, they're all shading towards his bot side, so they're expecting Relexus to go for a sequel, go for chapter 2 on Pointy Ball here, and they want to punish that. We'll see if 9 lives recognize it and shade down to protect him, or if they go for something cross-map. Looks like everybody's just going to diffuse back to other areas of the map. Infernal Soul should be up in just a couple of minutes.
And we do see the AD actually coming through from Urgot to kind of give them a little more damage diversity here. So I don't think we can fully be worried about the AP heaviness of this comp.
Very early level 16 from Alexis as well. We got to keep an eye on that. With that damage that he brings to the table and now his ultimate being miles ahead of everyone else, is the only one close to him is Prowler.
And he's just finished Hourglass as well. Huge team fight component for any Vladimir, even before the rework. It's always been an incredibly important item for this champion.
And an amp to his CDR, which will allow him to have pool and his other abilities up quicker.
So, might be all about the Relexus here as we fight for potential Infernal Soul. Option 12, looking to gain a full stranglehold on this game 3, trying to climb their way back into this split 6 final. Slackosaurus shading forward. They do have vision in the pit. The ball is in a pretty neutral position right now. Everybody just posturing. Nobody wants to make the crucial mistake. Nobody's even looking to flank. It's just ARAM, but in the river right now. General Wally misses the first skill shot that is thrown out. The ball just being pushed a little bit more forward. A Jin Trap goes down. Just, we are watching some trench warfare right now, but the trenches are slowly creeping back and forth. When does it explode? When does it happen? When does somebody decide to do something? Big wave pushing in the top side for 9 lives. So there's the curtain call. They open up, and this could be 9 lives go button. Sigtau Eternal doing a good job blocking it all. It barely does any damage. In goes Relexus. He wants it all. He's on the pointy ball. Can he get the last kill? He does. He takes down the Kog'Maw. Now Sigtau Eternal trying to match in the back line. Prowler gets the kill onto Relexus. The Drake goes over to Slackosaurus, so they stop Soul. Gregosaurus and Slackosaurus duking it out. The Dino battle in the backside. The Haymaker is just barely enough. Now can the set get away? Flash from Sigtau Eternal looking for the kill. It's a 4 for 3 in favor of option 12, but Slackosaurus got the smite to save the soul for now.
Wow, that was crazy. Really saw the good damage output from the brand there. And Prowler's just very good Urgot play as well. Really cleaned up that backside while we were watching Slackosaurus go to town.
And while many of us may like to disparage his use of top laners in the jungle, I definitely think he redeemed himself, at least to some degree, with his Urgot play in that fight.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, Urgot's...
Key to note...
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
After you.
Key to note is that we don't have that Vlad flash for the next team fight, so it's definitely key for option 12 to force a fight before that flash comes back up.
Well, Dragon will be up before the flashes, so that's something of note. Probably get one team fight as well, but it depends how safe they want to play here. Gold lead really hasn't changed that much. 3k for option 12. It's been up and down on that for most of the game, and once again, Relexus is in that bot lane, just living his best life.
Camping in the brush right now as well. He's hoping somebody walks up. It honestly feels like these team fights, you would have imagined they would be Vladimir versus Kog'Maw, but there are so many other threats on the option 12 side now that, you know, Pointy Ball got insta-killed there essentially by Relexus, and the fight still wasn't enough because this brand is doing so much damage. The Urgot, as you guys both pointed out, just doing work. So if you're 9 lives, you kind of have to reassess.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much reassessing needs to be done so much as they just need to make sure that they coordinate the Relexus all-in a little bit better. I think that Curtain Call on top of the Relexus all-in could have been devastating because they wouldn't have been able to have a coordinated response to that. But the Curtain Call being blown early was a big deal. Prowler actually might be overstepping a little bit here.
Or even just the Nautilus flashing in at the same time and layering that ult down onto the Kog'Maw so that it goes through the entire team and knocks them all up.
Good points. I feel like it's worth noting that Prowler's farm is pretty insane right now, especially for a jungler.
Yeah, his gold is insane as well. He is 2,000 gold above everybody, at least.
And it's a 700 gold bounty onto that Urgot. Slackosaurus was pinging that out at the end of that last fight, so We'll see if perhaps 9 Lives, they start prioritizing the Urgot now, as we could have a big ol' 1v1 coming up now. Rolexus has to pool immediately, but he's gonna get sniped. No, able to juke it for now. Can he? He doesn't have the sustain, I don't think. Gets pulled back, and Prowler with a big ol' 1v1 between the two most fed members of either team.
Wow. All right, so that sets the tone now. We've had the two Vlad ultimates putting the fear in, but now Prowler is making himself known. And what's going to happen as Wally is possibly thinking of collapsing on him?
Slack almost got caught there. Looks like option 12, though. I like this call. I agree with this one. They're going straight for the Baron, although they don't have their smite. Once again, their jungler is the one split pushing, which means that if Slack can sneak his way to the pit, it's really terrifying for option 12. Slack, he does know that they're doing it now. So 9 Lives, I think they need to back off of this, because if Slack just goes in, he doesn't see it. He doesn't see the health. He's not going early enough, and Gregosaurus will just take down Icy Flip. That's a nice shockwave, but it's not really onto any priority targets. Slack goes in. He doesn't quite have the damage. He gets taken out in mid-air, and option 12, this time the Baron goes all right, and a commanding lead now in game 3.
I like the turn there, where the Baron is so low, nail-bitingly low even, but they turn and they deal with the threats. Very well done.
Yeah, I would really call that a bait. You've already taken one person down, and you've got a 4v3 there. Without the ADC, definitely prime play out of option 12.
Because, I mean, like you said, with Slack there was a thought that could have gone through their minds about, oh my god, we gotta go. But they decided to go the other way, and it worked out well for them. And now they might get Soul. See what happens here. Soul, alright. Teleport coming, though. Oh, Prowler just jumps right in on it. He doesn't care. Look at his stats. Oh, we don't realize he's coming in the backside, though. He does the flash straight in onto Pointyball. The damage is there, but Pointyball has a flash of his own. There is the Hourglass. It's not going to be enough, though.
Yeah, Rolexus, we saw just how unbelievably powerful he was earlier, but he's been surpassed, or at least gotten to the point where they can manage him now. And for 9 Lives, you look at General Wally, 0, 1, and 2. He really doesn't have much gold in his pockets. And where else does 9 Lives go if Rolexus can't get the job done?
Yeah, I mean, Prowler has been zoning him out all game, and it's been going very well for them. The other thing to mention is that, you know, Prowler has now also picked up this Guardian Angel. So, I mean, I think that should this game end in the next couple of moments like we all seem to think it will, we're seeing an Urgot ban game 4. They basically have to respect Prowler here now and go back to him being a little bit on the weaker side with some other champions.
Yeah, I would think we'll see either an Urgot ban or potentially a brand ban. I think that brand was very impactful in this game.
Damn, there goes Wally and there goes the game. Option 12 taking it back.
We'll play one more at least, folks.
There, as we said, there's reverse sweeps in their blood. It is something they've done. My god. Alright, let's check out some advanced details before we hop over to the analyst desk. Vlad doing huge amounts of damage still. That AoE, absolutely insane, but can't overcome Prowler by 110-ish points.
Actually, a pretty low damage game overall for the amount of time that the game lasted compared to previous games.
Mm-hmm. And vision score as well. Lots of good vision here. And once again, we kind of see how comfortable Prowler is on this champion. The fact that he's got such a high vision score as well. Very close. All right, so let's go over to our friends at the analyst desk here. We are here, analyst desk. Caught you in the middle of a thought, so let's hear those thoughts.
It looks like option 12 figured out what wards were this game. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. Thank you for the handoff, kiddos. Well, folks, we have a series. Woo-hoo! I am hyped. I'm excited to talk about this in some great detail, looking at option 12, playing like a team we haven't seen before tonight. Well, let's hop into it. I want to talk especially about this top lane matchup, as I think things went very differently this time. Let's start with you, Soda. Tell me, why was this Maokai so good?
First of all, I want to lead off with I'm just really happy that Option 12 was able to. We've seen them progress throughout this whole series at this point. Just each game, they're getting more and more raid boss level, and I want to see them keep growing and keep that pressure on 9 lives. It feels like they kind of caught him off guard this game, especially in that top lane with the Maokai actually bullying the Vlad pretty hard early. No solo kills or anything, but definitely had the pressure on despite having a huge CS deficit.
And Rolex is still playing out this mod. Let's be frank, people. He still played incredibly well, and the successes that Non-Lives had that match was a lot of those crazy engages from Rolexis. So, still, incredible job by Rolexis. But Eternal, hold your head high, buddy. You did really well this game. Let's hop and talk a little bit about this jungle performance that was quite different. Nickel, Urgot, Prowler going crazy. 10:07, Slackosaurus slipping for the first time on this set pick. What happened?
Honestly, kind of agreed with the chat a little bit that the Urgot was not going to be the play for this game, and boy, were we wrong. Because Prowler just absolutely exploded this matchup, showing his true colors in the jungle, going, as you said, going 10:07. I think that he just was in the right mindset for this game. He was tanky enough where he could be in the front lines and dive and still survive in those team fights there, and just able to bully out Slack out of the jungle right there. I think all the cards were in his favor throughout the game, and very much different game.
We did see some huge pressure coming out of the jungle for Option 12 early, putting Slack behind, so I think that's very impactful and definitely huge. Big difference. Infinite. Trufflesaurus Rex, Gregosaurus Rex, your prophet, the blessed one, myself, Sigtal Lord, did say that the brand would be impactful. How does this play different into Trufflesaurus? Trufflesaurus, who in the past had shown such success on Oriana, didn't see that this time.
Well, at least from my perspective, Gregosaurus has played very well into all of Trufflesaurus's matchups. It's been very, very even, but Gregosaurus has played safer picks. And this time, like I said before it even started, he picked something that's incredibly strong right now, where he can actually be someone to dish out just a ton of damage and take advantage of that. And, well, I mean, 4-1-11, he did that. He did just that. So, it is what it is.
Big ups to Gregosaurus in that brand pick. I want to talk about this bot lane. Pointy ball on the Kog'Maw, Elizabeth running it back on the Swain into General Wally with Jin, and Icy Flip on his usually incredible support, quote-unquote, carry, Nautilus. We saw a very different game where there was much more jungle involvement from Prowler into the bot side, which were able to protect and elevate the Kog'Maw to be able to handle a lot of the late game threats that this Vladimir might have presented. We saw that in the team fight right before the end, where Relexus hardlines it straight to Pointy Ball, but Pointy Ball doesn't even fall below half health because he's able to continually heal off of autos and the build that he has. So very exciting stuff. I'm excited to see exactly how this Game 4 is played. We've spent a lot of the time narrating this from the perspective of the underdog, but I think things could be changing. I'd like to talk about what some things Non-Live could do different into this hopefully new and refreshed Option 12. What do you think we'll see out of Rolexis? Soda, let's take it to you.
I think Nine Lives as a whole just kind of needs to go, I don't want to say back to basics, but back to what was working. Relexis was doing really well on the Gangplank and the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser, I believe, was banned away this game, and as well as the Gangplank. But I just don't think the Vlad fits into their team where it needs to. He did great this game, had some excellent backline assassinations, especially in that dragon fight where they took the their Infernal Drake for 9 lives. But I just think he needs to be on a champion that he can impact the game differently than he can on Vlad.
Can get with that, and I think there are definitely a few more picks. Looking at it, he does have an incredible success rate with Vlad, but there are a few champions that he hasn't played tonight that I'd like to see, so we'll see exactly how that plays out. Well, we are going to hop into greater break down and talk about these picks and the upcoming pick and ban. Folks, we want to thank you for being with us, and I want to invite you again. Please sub if you're not. Follow us if you have the opportunity. We make great content. We'd love to have you part of our community. With that, let's pass this back over to Kinos. Kinos, you with me?
Yes, we are here, and we are excited to get into this Game 4. As we have on the screen, it is 2-1. Will we hit a Game 5? Will Option 12 embrace the teams of the past and channel in the reverse sweep? Don't go anywhere. We will find out shortly.